past 4 o'clock, which means we're joined by the great Ron Jaworski. You see him on the NBC Sports Philly pre- and post-game shows this weekend and every game. Hey, Jaws, how are you?
Spike, I great with you guys, man. If you don't have some excitement right now, you don't have a pulse. It's time. It's time to go.
See, that's what I'm saying, Jaws. I got the chicken skin going right now.
Yeah, it's Friday now. Got to calm down a little bit, but we'll get there by Sunday.
Yeah, you still got 2 days to go. So I don't want like to peak today. You know.
We don't have to worry about it. We just talk about it.
That's
right. Well, the energy's important. So
no doubt.
So as far as the opponents that the Eagles could have seen on Sunday, how do you think it all worked out? They could have seen the Packers, they could have seen the Rams. How do you think all this worked out for them?
I think it worked out very well. Now, I would have said that probably 2 or 3 weeks ago because the 49ers were playing good football, but they are just beat to hell. And hearing some of Kyle Shanahan's comments after the game last week that they lost to Seattle, it was like doomsday, that they were playing so hard to win that game because they needed a bye week. They needed a week to rest. They were so beat up. You look at not only the number of guys that they have down and out for the season, but the number of starters that are out for this game. It's and some questionable. So I think the fact that they're beat up, traveling across country to a team that's going to be healthy. We're probably the most healthy we've been since day one of training camp. I mean, it looks like everybody's coming back healthy. So I think, we have the health advantage and the home field advantage. I think is very positive.
We put such an emphasis, Jaws, on this offense. It's almost like we rely on, I say we, I'm just saying fans. It's almost like we rely on the offense to dictate our satisfaction with the team or what have you. And it's almost as if the way they go is how we're going to feel about the team. I throw that out in the playoffs. I'm just wondering, to me, this is a defensive-led team that needs to rely on their running game. What's the offensive formula that you would implement? Not only we'll stick with this week. What offensive formula would you implement going into this game?
Well, actually, that's a great question. I actually spent some time reviewing last season. Of course, we were the Super Bowl champions, and how did we get there? We had some bumps in the road in the regular season offensively, but when we got to the playoffs, it was a totally different picture, and I got kind of the numbers to bear that out. If you look at the 4 games in the playoffs last year against Green Bay, L.A., Washington, KC, we rushed for 818 yards. We rushed for 818 yards in 4 games. We threw the ball in those 4 games for 647. So here's the kicker. Jalen Hurts ran in those 4 games for 194 yards, almost 50 yards per game. We need to get Jalen involved more in the running game. We know he can handle a pass game. We know he can get it done. We've got to unleash him in the running game. 194, 818 yards in those 4 games were the difference. We only turned the ball over 1 time. Didn't fumble the ball 1 time in the whole postseason. There's 1 interception in the Super Bowl. So there's the blueprint right there. Yeah. Run the ball effectively, get Jalen involved in the running game as well as the passing game, and don't turn the football over, and we win.
Well, Josh, that number, the 800-yard number in the 4 games, is kind of a stunning number to think that was just a year ago, and we've seen the struggles they've had this year. So let me ask you this. So we've had a couple of...
I'll interrupt for 1 second.
Yeah.
And what jumped out at me is that against the Rams, we rushed for 285 yards. We only threw the ball for 65 yards. That's a high school team. But we won a game.
I didn't even realize that.
And I believe we won on the running game, and we've got to be a little bit imbalanced toward the running when we're in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, that was Jalen got sacked 7 times in that game, right?
Yeah. I didn't realize we only threw for 65
yards.
Yeah. Wow.
That's good to remember for some of us.
Won.
Yeah. Yes, we did. So the Eagles' rushing attack, have a good running game. Everybody agrees. We look at this Niners defense. They're injured. They have backup linebackers. But I bring you back to the Bears game. All I heard was that they have backup linebackers. They can't stop the run. The Bills game, all I heard is, I'll tell you one thing about this defense. They can't stop the run. So if I were to ask you, give me confidence about why this week will be different, what would you say?
Health. I think that's the number one thing in all season long. On those pregame and postgame shows I've been preaching, this offensive line has played poorly or average, I'll say, because I've been one to believe in this offensive line since day one. I believe Howie Roseman built his football team through the offensive defensive line, and the defensive line was fine. A couple of injuries here and there, but the offensive line was devastated. I think because of that, there was penetration on a lot of runs and too many negative plays. And once you get off schedule and you get into 2nd and 3rd and long, you're done in this league. That's when you face all the crazy defenses and exotic blitzes and different looks that make it difficult to pick up blitzes. So We've got to stay on schedule. We've got to be effective on first down, stay out of that third and long, and we'll be fine. But I think it boils down to the offensive line. I think we're rock solid everywhere else. The quarterback position, Saquon, the wide receivers, the tight end, the defense is solid. Now, I'd say I still, when I look at the tape, I'm not overly impressed with our tackling. We're going to have to tackle well with guys like Christian McCaffrey. But I think the only question mark I have is how good is this offensive line going to be? But they're healthy, and that's where it starts, with good health. And Lane back, we're already better. You know that. He's one of the best offensive linemen or best right tackles ever to play the game. So with him back healthy and fresh, huge advantage.
Yeah, and for sure, you look at the record with and without Lane. There's enough data there to say that even this year, I think they're 3-4 without Lane or 3-5 without Lane. So let me ask you this: we're all very confident in the defense. Defense has been great this year. What do the Niners do offensively that they could take advantage? Is there anything the Eagles do defensively that the Niners could take advantage of?
Oh, hell yeah! The Niners are one of the best offensive design teams in football, and Kyle Shanahan does an unbelievable job of. I call it with the Christian McCaffrey. I call him the "Where's Waldo." Where is he going to be? I mean, he really is the catalyst for anything they do on the offensive side of football. Now you could talk about the quarterback, the wide receivers, the tight end, Kittle and all those guys, but it all starts with Christian McCaffrey. You better know where he is, or he's going to embarrass you. So I think all week Vic Fangio's probably in practice having that guy. This is where CMC is. This is where he is. You better be aware where he is, because he's going to take you to the football. He really is the guy that they like to use as a decoy, as well as a guy that's a go-to not a wide receiver, but a receiver, running back, and he can block. And actually, he's thrown passes in his career, so alert the halfback pass in this game, Eagle defense.
Your confidence in Jalen throwing the football if we have to throw the ball. Because if I'm Robert Saleh, I'm not letting the Eagles run the football. I'm going to force the passing game to sort of beat me. Just what are you're feeling on where our passing game is at right now going into the playoffs?
I think we're absolutely fine. I mean, we're fresh, we're healthy. The wide receivers had rest, except for Smitty had got to 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
had to get that 1,000. Got some bonus money in there,
right.
Somehow, some way. But I think Jalen's fine. He's played great in playoffs. I don't worry about him. I don't worry about the running game. I don't worry about the wide receivers. I think we're primed. It's kind of interesting because I'm looking at all the other games through this weekend, and the two teams not playing with the bye week. I think this playoff situation is wide open. I think when you look at a team like Jacksonville, even Carolina has enough firepower to win. There's no dominant team this year. No team says, "Oh my God, no one's going to beat us." There's no Kansas City right now, and it's just the way the league is. There's parity in the league. I think every game is somewhat of a toss-up.
It's funny. You can look at it two ways. You could look at it that way and say, hey, look, we could do it. And then you could look and say, wait a minute, we're one of those teams too. So
you're right, Spike. You're absolutely right.
So I think I know which way you're going, but we do need your prediction. Give us a score, Jaws.
I'm very confident in this pick. 21-20 Birds.
Whoa.
It's funny?
It threw me off with that one.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot of the Birds are going to win, but they're not going to cover. That's So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right, Jaws. Thank you, and hopefully when you're on next week, we were talking about another Eagles playoff game and not wrapping up what went wrong.
We will be. It's always a pleasure being with you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Jaws.
All right, Jaws.
Thank you. There's Jaws. Always the optimist, Jaws.
Yeah,
except during that 3-game losing streak.
21-20.
Yeah. That's a close game.
That's an Ike score if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. They're definitely going to win it by 1 point.